Hello crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this matching thank you card and thank you gift. I've used the Twinkle Twinkle Designers Series paper and I'm going to do that again, except I'm changing from Pool Party to Petal Pink. Okay, so I'm going to start off by showing you the card pieces you need. First of all, for the actual card, I used our note card and envelopes, which come in a pack of 20, and the card is 3 inches by 5 inches. So to go with that, you need a piece of the Designer Series paper, which measures 3 inches by 4.5 inches, which is 7.5 by 11.5 centimetres. You need a piece of what is now known as sparkle glimmer paper. I don't know how it varies from this one, but I've still got quite a lot of old stock of the dazzling diamond, so I'm going to carry on using this. But in the catalogue, sparkle looks more or less the same as this. Anyway, you need a piece of this that's going to be big enough to do this, which I imagine is probably about 3 inches by 4 inches, I suppose, less than that, but that's an idea for you. And also a small scrap for the little flower there. I'm going to change the flower that I've used here because these were my thank you gifts for my customers who shopped with me in August, and I used a retired punch on that one, but I have found something quite similar that I can use for the video. So that's for the card. For the pouch, you need a piece of Designer Series paper that measures about that does measure 6 inches by 6 inches, which is 15 by 15 centimetres. You need a 1.5 inch circle. Now I've done these with punches, so that's 1.5 inch circle, 1 inch circle, a 1 3/8 scalloped circle, which again is a punch. Okay, there's that one. And you will also need just some scrap glimmer paper for the flower. We won't be doing the little scrap of DSP on the top there. So what is the best way of doing this? I think if we make the pouch first, then that's ready for the big shot, then that's for the big shot. Yep, I think so. Let's do it like that. So we need our scoreboard for this first of all, which is here. And if you use this design, which is like, it's a stars, but it's making the shape of a heart, star, moon, just make sure it is up the right way. And I'm looking for my gorgeous new scoring tool, which is on the end of my take your pick. Right, so you need to score this at, she looks at her notes and she can't see where she's written it because she thinks she's covered it up. Let's go over to this sheet here. I wrote it all out in my book and then I made a mess of it. So I got some self-adhesive notes and put it over the top, but I forgot to copy down what I wanted to rewrite. So let me have a look. Right, it's at 1 3/8 inches, which means I don't have centimetres, sorry about that. So it's 1 3/8 inches and 4 1/4 inches. And you now need the bottom. If you've got a directional pattern, make sure that the bottom of your design goes round to your left hand side, because we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and that's the bottom of your pouch. Okay, so we need first of all scissors. We need to do a small bit of cutting here on this, we got the big chunk in the middle here. All right, we've got two more narrow columns here, but this big one here, we're going to cut straight against this side, and then we're going to mitre that side, and the same there. So straight on the inside, that's towards my left hand, and then mitre from this side, and then do the same on this side, straight towards my right hand side, and then mitre that one. Okay. Do I do that first? Oh, right, okay. I don't. So what we're going to do next is we're going to cut that tab off and cut that tab off. Again, go just above the score line. So when you cut this off, all the score is on there, and this is all nice and flat. And the same this side as well. Cut the score line off. This is going to be folded under, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit on the short side. Now the reason I hesitated which bit I do first is because I want to round these two corners, and it's very difficult to round corners if you've got bits at the side like this, but I'm just going to fold my first side in, and when you do any do corner round like this, make sure that the one that you're actually doing the rounding on is the one that touches the base there, and the folded bit is on top. As you can see, it catches onto something. There we go. So that's all right. Now fold that one over. Keep this to the top so that's flat on the punch. Make sure that's in against both sides, that side and that side. And put pressure on the centre here. Don't try doing it on the edge. Too much like hard work. Okay, so that's what we have there. In fact, that's got a little bit. That's fine. So what we need to do now is I am going to use sticky strip for mine. Just do your folds. You don't need to use a bone folder because it's designer series paper and your fingers will press it enough. Right, so I want that on that side and then that. I'm going to use red sticky strip. You can use snail for this, and you could also use tear and tape. As you know, I do like my red sticky strip. So that's on the inside there, and then on the inside that one. Okay, inside at the bottom, inside on the right hand side. In fact, no, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to cut that first. If we don't cut it first, it means that we'll be cutting through the tape, and that is not a good idea. So that's ready for the big shot. The dies that we're going to be using, let me explain these. For the shaped top, I'm going to be using the Stitched Seasons framelits. Now these were on special promotion last month, so if you didn't get these, you can use any die. You just choose a shaped die that you have. You could use an oval die if you don't have anything fancy, or you could use a round die. But I'm going to be using this one, and I think it's the middle size that I need. So when you're checking your dies to see what you could use, what is going to happen with this is I am going to be putting it on like this. Okay, so whatever shape you've got here is going to be the top of your pouch, which is why I say you could have a oval if you wanted, or you could use a circle. As long as it goes side to side, that will be fine. But do check, because you've probably got some fancy shaped ones there. So those ones aren't available anymore. I hope you did get them though. They are beautiful because they're double stitched inside and outside the cutting line. The thank you is from Thinlet called Thank You, surprisingly enough. So that's that one that I need. And then the flower, I found that in the seasonal layers. I'm using this one. And I have to say, I think this one looks better than the punched one that I did. So that's what I need, those. And I need 2 of these. One of them I've already done, just to save a little bit of time. Come on. Right, there we go. See, I think that's really pretty because it's got the little bits in the centre there. So I need one of these, one of these, one of these. That's all punched. And that's it for the big shot. So let me get that over. To do the thank you and the flower, I'm using my precision base plate. So I've got my platform first of all, this one. Then I have my thin die adapter, and then my precision base plate. I have some scrap. I thought I had a bigger piece of scrap here of this that I was going to see whether I could get through using it. No. What about this? I think the thank you might fit on that. There we go, it will do, just. So that's that one, and I can put my flower on here as well. So just one cutting mat. Right, that's through once, and I'm just going to bring it back again. There we go. Now that should have cut all the way through. Looks like it, doesn't it? There we go. Oh, did I put my... Yes, I did. I've put my brush away. So what I need to do now is put this one there. Don't need that. I need to bring my magnetic platform over. I'll sort that bit out in a minute, and that. Okay, so I've got my die now for this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just put the die over. You can see it. This one has worked out rather well because the little side bits there go right to the side of the bag. Okay, so now what you need to do is when you put the cutting mat on, only allow it to come down to about here from this side, so that the pressure is only going on here. You don't want pressure to go onto that bit. Although it won't cut, it would leave an impression. Okay, so that is going to be far enough. Right, in you go. Okay, that's all we need to do. And then when you take that off, oh, I've done it the wrong way round. You silly person. I should have done it the other way round, because on the back of it, the stitches aren't quite so good. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make my bag a bit shorter than it should be. Let's do that again. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that back in again. I wonder how far off I can go. Well, I suppose I'd better just come down that far, hadn't I? I've not made this mistake before. Alright, let's have a go with that. Let's see what happens. Let's pop the cutting mat back in. But I don't want it all the way. That's it, that should be fine. Let's push this in. There we go. Let's see if I've done it correctly this time. There we go, that's much better. Now I've got the real stitches here with the back of the stitches on that side. Can you see that? Okay, so they're the back, and the front is where you get the really good deep stitches. So, yep, that's fine. So, if you make the same mistake as I do, that's how you get out of it. Right, so if I move that out of the way, because I don't need it anymore now, do I? Move that. Let's put that over. Right, where's my card? Oh, that's here. Don't need any of that. Right, paper piercer. I would normally have gone over this with my die brush, but I did a video a little while ago and I know that I did tidy it up. No great shakes, I can get it out like this. It's just that it's so much easier with a die brush. So there's that one. Just make sure I've got all the little bits out. So that's fine. Let's get the flower. Now that's left the little bits in the centre there, but I'll sort that out after I finish the video. Right, so now I think I have everything ready to put my card together. So let's get rid of this. And I think I'm going to need glue dots. Okay, so first of all I'm going to put my paper on there, and now this is something you don't see very often. I'm going to put it on using snail. And again, if you've got a directional pattern like this, make sure you put it up the right way. Yes, because I've got hearts on there. And I can see a pencil mark as well. There's another one there. Right, so I want to put this on first. So I'll take my silicone mat . this has got loads of plenty of areas where it's all nice and thick to get Tombow on. Yep, that should be fine. I don't think there's a right and wrong way to put this. I like to put it, to me that's nice and relaxed. Right, with the flower, I'm not going to use a dimensional, which is what I did on that one, because it means I'll see a dimensional through the holes in the flower there. I don't want to do that. Okay, so we pop that there. See, that's nice. I really like that, but you've got the card, the DSP coming through from underneath. I'm just using one of the large pearls. There we go. So that's my card. And now I need my bag. So I need to finish off this because I started putting the tape on a bit too soon, really. So as I've got this open, I've got my tape at the bottom. I'm going to put more tape on the right hand side. Just get that a little flattened down. Right, do the side piece first. So put the left hand side in and then the right hand, but try not to just flatten it all the way down. Chances are you'll be putting something in there that's got some thickness to it, like mine. I'm going to put these little bags of jelly beans in there, so I don't want it flat. Okay, so that's, you see, I've left some depth there. And likewise, when I put the bottom flap up, I'm not going to try pushing it all down flat. There we go. So that's nice. Just slide that in. Okay. Right, okay. So let's put these together. Now this is where I need dimensionals. Oh no, I know what I haven't done yet. On here, where I've got thank you, I've heat embossed that in white. So I think I can, apart from the fact that I've forgotten to bring over a block, but I think because it is so small, I think I can just stamp straight onto the circle. Let me have a look. Oh, and I'll show you the stamps that this is coming from as well. This is called Bubble Over, and this is what I'm using, a little one there. Let me just pull my chair back in again. You see, that is just so tiny. I should be able to just stamp that on in the centre. So first of all, I'm using my embossing buddy, although I have to say it would probably have been easier to punch it afterwards. Never mind, we can cope. So first of all, I've gone over my embossing buddy. Now I'm doing the Versamark. I'm going to bring this down towards me without going out of shot. There we go. And what I am going to need is, oh that's lovely, right in the middle. I'm going to use some I have some special tweezers, let's put that on properly, that I can actually hold while I'm heat embossing. Very kind lady in the States sent these over to me. Okay, so like that, I can dip it into the embossing powder first. Yep, that looks good. And if I can get my heat gun again. Right, bear with me, I let it heat up for about 10 seconds or so. The magic of this embossing powder never fails to amaze me. Doesn't matter how many times I see it, I just think it's absolutely amazing. Just totally amazing. Right, what do we want? We have some glue dots. I think 2 will be enough. Oh, could get a third one on there. Yes, that's good. So I'm going to put that in the centre of the shimmer paper, glimmer paper. That's because I've been using the glimmer paint so much recently. I got shimmer on the brain. And then this one's going on with Tombow. And then that can go on. What did I do? Glued that. That's right. Now the flower, that comes down here, so I'm going to just do glue on the outsides again, on the petals rather. In fact, on that one side it's come out a little bit too quick for my liking, so I'm going to lean over and get a scrap of paper so that I can just dip that onto it. In fact, in case you've never seen me do this before, all I do is I blot it on some scrap paper. It takes the worst off and hopefully stops it from oozing out on the sides. And then on here I want a pearl. Just hold that down for a few seconds. Right, that's that. And then I have one of our clips. Oh, let's put our goodies in there first. Just make sure that as you're pinching it together, you do actually get it flattened out. Don't know if you saw mine, but it somehow got itself caught. And this is a ribbon that I'm using. It's in the annual catalogue. I don't remember how much I cut off of this. It wouldn't have been too much, would it? Shall we say 9 inches? Oh crikey, I've got pearls running away over here. Just get them back onto the sheet. Come on. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. There's even a baby one. Don't know where that one came from. Right, now what I do when I'm doing the ribbon, I try and make sure that it goes underneath the two prongs that are sticking out. If it pops out again while I'm doing this, I just use my paper piercer to push it back again. Oh no, it's behaving itself this time. Could have done with it being a little bit longer. Oh, there we go. Oh, I've managed. Shorten that side a little bit. There we go, it's alright. I'm just going to trim the ends. There we go. So there we go. There's another example, because I've already done one of these, but this, I'm going to have to put these on the new glue dots, I think. I don't understand, because they're sticking to my fingers. Yeah, sticking to that as well. Right, okay, as I was saying, I have already done one set where I've done matching, but I've quite enjoyed doing that one, which is why I did another one for my customers this month. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you give it a try. I appreciate you joining me today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always very happy to help you. I will put in the video below all the measurements and the products that I've used and the lines where you need to do your scoring. If you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new one, which is normally Wednesdays and Sundays, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I believe you have to click on the bell now to make sure that you get the notifications. And I think that's probably about it. So many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.